all right, how much can my shop bill on a daily basis? Now, there is a formula for this, and I hope I'm going to get this right because I'm going right off the top of my head. It is important to know what your maximum potential is. And I think it's important because it can really help you see if you're performing or underperforming. Now, I tend to fall on the lower side on this calculation. I was always taught that an A-level technician, and I don't necessarily think that we should rate our technicians based on a letter scale. We should rate them as individuals and understand their strengths and weaknesses and make sure we're dispatching to what they're good at. But I was always taught an A technician should bill 12 hours a day. A B technician should bill 8 to 10. A C technician should bill typically 6 to 8. And a GS is going to bill more hours, probably 10 to 12, but it's going to have a lower effective labor rate. Now, what does all that mean for you? First of all, we need to take our effective labor rate into account. 94% of your door rate is the target effective labor rate. However, you should know your effective labor rate because it might be an area that you need to improve. When calculating your max potential, I recommend you using the 94%. So I'm going to take my labor rate times 0.94, and then I got to add my parts to that, okay? And when I add my parts to it, I'm going to multiply that. Cecil's always told me if I sell $1 in labor, I sell 85 cents in parts. I just take my labor rate times 1.85, my effective labor rate times 1.85. Now, what does that give me? That gives me my gross sales per billed hour. I take my gross sales per billed hour and I multiply it by the number of hours that I have available to me in a day. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to get yelled at by some of you super duper shop owners. I just say 8 hours a day. I'm not asking my guys to turn more hours than they're there at the shop. Sometimes they do more, sometimes they do less. It's all about the law of averages for me. So I'm going to say, hey, whatever my gross sales per billed hour is times however many hours I have in a day, and that gives me my daily target or my daily potential. And then I multiply that by however many days are in the month. And that tells me what my potential is in a month. Now, that was a huge thing for me. When I learned to calculate that and I started seeing that, hey, I thought I was doing good at $14,000 a month and I should actually be doing like $50,000 a month. And that was with a very small staff and a very small shop. Man, that really woke me up. And so that number is extremely important. Now, look, it is not the grace. It is not, this is law. And if you aren't hitting this, you're going to go out of business and everything's going to fall apart tomorrow. That's not the point. The point is to give you a target, to give you something to look at so you can say, hey, am I doing good or not? I think for me, one of the biggest challenges was knowing, hey, like I'm actually doing a good job or I'm not. And for a while, I thought I was doing a good job when I wasn't. I had no frame of reference. I had nothing to compare myself to. So that's how I came up with that number. That's the way I've been taught by 3 different business coaches now. I would love to hear how you calculate your full potential or your maximum potential. If you'll share it down in the comments below. Y'all have a good one.